Warriors, what's good? Man, it's a long week last week, even longer weekend, super busy, and then today, but we're here though, so I'm grateful. Taking a night walk. I was gonna wait to do this because I'm feeling tired. Like I didn't get some rest, which I will, but my spirit was like, You said you was gonna keep talking, so let's get at it. So all right, so y'all just work with me. All right, I'm gonna try to stay on topic, but however this thing supposed to come through, it will. So, we're talking about struggle builds character. Man, I know many of you understand struggle. I'm not gonna worry about talking to the people who we already know is pretenders. I'm talking about real struggle. I'm trying to get with my folks real quick. Get with them warriors who done been through stuff. Not things you done got yourself into. That is just one thing. You got yourself into it, yo, man up, deal with it. I'm talking about the afflictions of life that come at you, because we're talking about mind science. And this is a very dense challenge that people from the environment where I grew up in particularly, humble beginnings, projects in the 80s. Now, doesn't matter where you're from or who you are. If you've had struggle, then I know you'll be able to identify with the message. I'm just using my background as a platform to paint a perspective so we can create some chemicals. Struggle builds character. Man, it's one thing that I have learned in this life is struggle. It strengthens you if you have the mindset of, I won't be stopped. I'm not gonna quit. Don't mean you don't get tired. Don't mean you don't get frustrated. Don't mean you don't even have to step away from it for a minute. But at your core, something just will not let you quit. And when I say quit, I mean quit on yourself. Especially when you look back at everything you've been able to beat in your life. Don't matter what it is, small, big, not even gonna get into the specifics. If you struggled and it wasn't your fault that you had to struggle, keep it in context. I'm not talking about people who cause things for themselves, once again, but I'm talking about the environment, circumstances, families, associations, lack of resources, so on and so forth. Now, I'm very aware that people who come from other places where they're in more impoverished situations and they do well here. The difference is the psychological warfare, okay? So, if we're talking about the mind, and we're talking about struggle builds character, and there is such a thing as psychological warfare against certain areas and demographic and people, because, I'm still on topic. Then you understand what I'm talking about, which makes it difficult for you, even though opportunity is here. So if you don't have your mind, then you're not going to be able to overcome the challenge. And we see this. I can remember being a kid, and when you are a little black boy from the projects, there's only two things, for the most part, that you're terrified of: going to prison and getting killed. Because it's so much a part of your daily environment. And honestly, you were picking up on the vibrations of it in your mother's womb. I'm not gonna go too deep into that. But your ability to have a certain mindset, what allowed you to overcome so many things in your life and possibly even move away from these environments. But when you move away from these environments, there's a whole nother level of understanding within yourself that really requires a grounding in knowing who you are. And we're going to get into some of that in the history of some things. And I'm talking about the history of the Americas, or prior to it being called America, North of Mexa, Turtle Island, India Superior, a part of the Grand Tartarian Empire. These are all names that were associated with this land. But they'll tell you that the copper-colored type people come from somewhere else. I'm not gonna get into all that, but it's relevant. Psychological warfare. Many of you meet these challenges in your day with family because you kind of have to deal with them. It can happen with friends too, so-called friends, because they're sizing themselves up against you because they can't do what you do. And see, if you had the resources, how much better you would do with it. You know, people do stuff like that. I'm just saying, these are some of the challenges that will come up against you, even if you got the right mindset. Until you work through, these challenges in certain seasons of your life, and it definitely will continue to help you develop your character. Sometimes it's just about holding on. I'm just being honest. None of it gonna make sense. But that is when you really gonna have to dig deep. When it doesn't make sense, that is God, your higher self, your associations with the spirit world asking for more out of you. Now, if there's one thing I know is I know struggle, I know pain. And the great thing about it is, with the right mindset, it creates an incredible testimony for you. Regardless if anybody else ever hears it or knows your story, it don't matter. Because you have such an assurance within yourself, and you know it was God that helped you get through it, and make you laugh a little bit. Excuse me. And make you laugh. You start to have this inner knowing that nobody can take from you. Character. Now, like I told you before, it's thoughts create habits. Habits create behavior, and the behavior forms the character. So if you had if your perspective was pretty negative, and you create some low vibrational thoughts, then you probably going to want to act low vibration. And then that becomes a habit. And then that habit that you develop, you create a few more of them. Now that behavior is definitely not something that will put you in the best light amongst high vibrational people. And then before you know it, you got a bad name for yourself. Your character is not trusted. Struggle builds character with the right mindset. Okay, we're going to do this like this. This is how I'm going to bring it all in. Because I am tired. Okay, check this out. Now, I've had some incredible opportunities in my life. When I first left the Carolinas, got to be more, got to school, couldn't stay on campus because it was a lot that I didn't know for sure because I came from the projects, but my folks didn't know. And I don't know, like my pops, me and him, I don't know, like I learned a lot from him, but I learned even more from him when he was on his asshole shit. But I appreciate it because it really, really, really taught me the truth of life. So, mindset, right? Because I learned a lot about the hard truths that people want to throw in your face. Keeping your balance so that you don't get emotional and then be distracted from what you were supposed to be achieving. Struggle builds character. So, left here, got to Baltimore, got to school, was doing pretty good, doing really good actually, but couldn't stay on campus because I ran into some issues with my financial aid off the break. I mean, we got it taken care of, but it was an issue because you got to file financial aid every year. And I was under the notion that this was going to be taken care of. I was going to help. And neither one of my parents, unfortunately, were able to come through for me on that. So I ended up moving off of campus because you have to be able to show that you're providing for yourself as an independent to get financial aid to go to school. Okay? So if it was just about going to school, school was easy. But now I gotta get a full-time job. Full-time job. Working at MCI WorldCom in Hunt Valley. Boy, I tell you, this is telemarketing. That's why my sales skills are so sharp. Man. Anyway, worked for MCI WorldCom, trying to go to school. Did okay, it's like B's. I think I had like 1 or 2 C's. And if I felt like I couldn't stay in the class, I just dropped it or whatever. So this is like my sophomore year. Held it down. Not only me, whole crew, you know what I'm saying? We all stayed out in Kensington Gate. I had my apartment, you know what I'm saying? The people who I rock with, they stayed right across the street. 2 people had a car, so we made sure we gave them gas money so we can get to work, because Hunt Valley is kind of far from where we are on the east side of Baltimore. So we just carpool, put our money together for food, and if the people who had cars wasn't available, man, you gotta go to the grocery store up on Alameda. So you only can buy what you can carry. And that was the thing. You only can buy what you can carry. So we did that, Wanted to do well in school. MCI WorldCom goes down. Bang, for slamming people. So now I'm looking for a job. Mixing and matching, trying to make some things happen. Job market was rough. And then 9/11. After that, school was kind of one of those things that was just like, all right, whatever. And it wasn't really working for me at that point in time, like I said, with the financial aid and stuff like that, where some people were like, oh, you could have just stayed on campus. No, you can't, yo. It's like, stop playing with me. Maybe if certain things were in position from the beginning, yeah, but now life is really going. I'm like inner city Baltimore. So me and the homeboy decided that we was gonna start a company because we was doing collections. And I hated collections with a passion. I'm good at sales, but I hated collections because I had to call people who was broke and ask them for money, man. It sucked. I called people asking them for money, and they were like, bruh, I ain't got it, you know what I'm saying? I need to. And I'm like, yeah, I feel you, bro. I ain't got it. So I used to just let people off the hook, like, yeah, whatever. Hey, man, I ain't gonna call you for like 2 weeks, And I used to get in trouble because it's like, oh, you're not collecting, I get it. But, man, I just ain't have it in me. You know what I'm saying? I'm too real for that. I'm struggling, too. I'm not about to get at somebody that's struggling just like I'm struggling, Struggle builds character. And that was my mindset. So me and my homeboy, we built a company. In 2000, this is how ahead of the game we was. We built a company to restructure defaulted student loans. So what we did was we became the middleman between the collection agency and the debtor. And collection agencies treat entities a lot different than they would treat a regular consumer. And I can go into a lot of that. It was a struggle. Got our first building, made some relationships, made some money, lost all the money. Back to ground one, Struggle builds character. So this happened a few times. Just different phases of life with that. I already told you guys about when I was sick, but let me tell you what I used to do. So it's about a 12-mile stretch between like Germantown, Maryland Transit, and Clarksburg, Maryland, where I was staying at. And the 75, which is the bus, it was only running a few days back then. Now I think it run every day and it run longer. I'm like, man, it's crazy. But not only me, I know a few people, you know what I'm saying? They used to have to make that stretch too. But I had a couple jobs at the time. So I was working as a counselor still in Rockville. And I used to work long shifts, like overnight and then like the first shift, or, pick up somebody's shift. And then when I leave from there, I go right to the gym because I was training. At that time, I was training at like John Hopkins Wellness Center. So it's like post-rehab, little stuff like that or whatever. And then I was training on my own. And I also was building a tech firm that actually did really well, but the partnership fell through. Lack of equally yoked mindsets. Struggle builds character. So I used to have to make this stretch like 3-4 times a day. Not every day, but some days I would, because so I would work like, okay, so let me break it down. So if I leave from Clarksburg, that means I got my gym bag, I got my book bag, and then I got my computer bag. Because I study at night while I'm at work. I need a change of clothes for after training. And then I had certain books that I needed to read. So I had a gym bag, a book bag, and another book bag I used to carry on my shoulder like this. So I'd be strapped down every day with at least, no bull, 70 to 85 pounds. Every day. Every day. I'm talking about people would see me and know it was me because I would have so many bags. You understand what I'm saying? He's like, yo, T, I see you running for the bus, bruh. I was like, where? They was like, on 355. I'm like, what you see? He's like, yo, I saw all them bags. I knew it was you. Damn. Are you serious? Struggle builds character. A book bag crew. I know y'all know about that book bag crew. Not like the little book bags they carry now. Talking about like, you already know you need your bag because you're going to be out. You know what I'm saying? Now, could I have caught an Uber or something? Yeah, but I ain't had the bread for that. I'm on a tight budget and I got a little toddler. So that was like the other thing when I didn't have to work. So I would go to work, go train all day, go back to work the overnight, sometimes pick up a shift, and then go home. So I usually was running on about a 72-hour span, 3 days. Every 3 days I go home. So when I get home, shower, take a nap, or if I felt like I was gonna be too tired, shower, and then I'll walk back to Germantown to spend time with my daughter. Because we just got that kind of bond. That's my boo. My daughter definitely helped me become the man that I always wanted to be in my life. And I'll be forever grateful for this little angel who just turned 12. Oh my gosh. Struggle builds character. I've been through many, 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 many different challenges and struggles, as like I said, many of you have, or those from our environment go through, but I promise you, it develops you into something only God can develop you into. Because before you even tell anybody your story, I promise you, the right people will see certain things in your character. They will. But also, you have people who will see these things in your character and hate you for it and won't tell you. They'll befriend you. They'll get on that train and secretly do very mischievous stuff to derail you because of character flaws that they struggle with within themselves. Not everybody. I'm just saying what you're going to have to look out for. It's one of those things. And even in that, struggle builds character. You learn from it. So, the whole point is, don't be afraid of the struggle. More importantly, you gotta have the right mindset, okay? Gotta have the right mindset. And I appreciate all the love on one of the last posts I put on Facebook in regard to, some years back, I think it was like 5-6 years ago, where I was at then. I'm in a completely different place, Even then, it didn't stop me. I hadn't been through so much in life where I knew what was going on. I'm only using that as a testimony to inspire certain people who may be going through certain things. Is everything where I want it to be? It is in my mind, where it needs to be first, because we don't turn stones to bread. We don't break universal law. There have been many things that have come against my mental, against my character, but I weathered all of it and continue to. So, at the moment, just to shed some light, I'm still in the field that I want to be in. I'm doing my thing. I'm operating from a space where, I finally got an opportunity that I never thought would come so easily. But I got it. Got my secret clearance. Been doing my thing for a while. I know this is going to be news to the people who like to watch. They don't think I know they watching me. They don't need to be watching me. Like I told you before. You need to be watching them folks that's coming to see y'all. Yeah, but I got my clearance. Been doing my thing for a while. I had some help, and I'm about to make another big jump, So, struggle builds character, man. After a while, you see you can't be stopped. You just can't be stopped. Things are going to happen. But if you develop your character, you can put yourself in a high vibration where you just don't have to deal with certain things. So I hope this makes sense. Like I said, I'm tired. I'm almost back at the spot. It's just been on my spirit. I hope it helps somebody. Just even a little piece. Somebody. Because if so, then it was worth the conversation. All right. I'll let y'all soon. Peace.